How's it going, team? I hope you had a fantastic day. If you watched my week ahead video that I posted on Sunday, or even if you caught that little YouTube short I posted last night, you would have been ready for this move because we were bullish. We were bullish, looking for expansion. We were looking for that drive higher. It took some time today, didn't it? It took some time to work out. There was a lot of chop in the morning, but we got there. So let's just hop over into a trading view chart and we'll have a look at the higher time frame just to give you the understanding of why we were looking for that. So let's hop over now, and here we go. Here is our daily time frame. Okay, this is the daily chart on the SPY E-mini, the ES. Okay, and here we have these green lines. These are our anchored VWAPs. So these are anchored from this all-time high and also from the October low from last year. And you'll notice they hang in the same place. Now, I talked about it at the weekend and I talked about it yesterday as well. We knew that there was a good chance buyers would try to step in here, okay? And we had this area of consolidation before we did this huge breakout move following months and months of an ABCD pattern, all right? All in here before we did the breakout. So we were expecting this to potentially hold, all right? Potentially hold, but we weren't gonna go in blind, all right? We're not just bidding, hoping to hold price up. We want to see it prove to us that it wants to move higher. And reclaiming these anchored VWAPs yesterday was part of that, okay? And we had a good target. We had a reasonable target to aim for. We had this imbalance here in the daily where we gapped down. This gap hadn't been filled. We all know gaps love to get filled. And we have this area of supply overhead. And of course, we have these anchored VWAPs from the leg we've been making on the way down, dating all the way back to July. So all of these anchors, all of these top points I've anchored in, and you can see we're starting to dig into them. So coming into today, we were looking for that drive higher, right? We're looking to drive into 42.10. It's the number I've been calling out the whole time. 42.10, that's where I want to see price go to for the first target. Beyond that, I would have loved that rip into supply. Maybe we get it later this week, we'll have to see. So now I'm just going to hop down to a lower time frame. Let's go into a 5-minute time frame and let's just see what we had today, shall we? So here is price action from today. And I actually want to go back to the local low we put in here because this is really important and this is why I felt so confident. So if we do an anchor off this low, okay, and we do another anchor right here on this low that it held, and we can do one more in here. All right, you will notice that price held these anchor points, okay? Price came down and held this anchor, all right? This was overnight before the drive up in London and Asia, and it came down again and held yet again at 10 o'clock or 10:20, 10:30. You know what time that is? That is the IB low. So I was really interested in getting long if we could hold this. Now I've got this one in now because I'm interested if price can hold there for tomorrow. But I'm gonna delete that just now so we can focus on action for today. So let's just remove that. Okay, and zoom in a little bit here. Now we had some really, really choppy action because of that drive up overnight in this London session. We tagged this anchored VWAP and we got stuck and we built some really nice liquidity here. You can see it starts to taper off and we have this left shoulder and this right shoulder and we get this move down. Now this wasn't that easy to catch actually because it was before open and we had lots of news today. We had news at 9:45, we had news at 10 o'clock. So if you got that, well done. That was a great take. I actually tried to short into this level for a move down to retest this anchored VWAP and demand down here. Okay, I'm gonna mark this out. And you will see it. I took a bear flag breakdown, looking for this move down, and we didn't quite get it. I was in the money comfortably. I didn't take it off. We were coming into news. Maybe got a bit greedy. Didn't take it off at my first target. I was looking for us to take out this low before ripping up. I really wanted a trap underneath. Didn't get it. Took my break even. And then after that, we got quite a lot of chop, didn't we? We got all this action trapping buyers at the highs before moving down and then we trapped sellers at the lows over and over again. And this is not easy to chop, but it is directional, okay? It is directional if you understand your IB levels. So I'm just gonna show you these now. We're gonna go down to a 1 minute super low time frame here, okay? And I'm gonna stick on my flow zones. So here's the flow zone cloud, and I wanna stick on one of these SMAs. Let's find it. This SMA here. Now I said to you in the weekend, you had to be careful of the snapback of this 5-day SMA, all right? We snapped back and then we were looking to hold this 5-day SMA. That's this horizontal line. And you'll notice this morning, when we got under it, we soaked straight back over and then we kept holding it, right? That is a signal that the market does not want to let go of this. We wanted to extend higher. So once we put in this IB low, we rotated off the IB low into the IB high, okay, back and forth and back and forth. And you'll see the flow zones very clearly start to get bullish with price action, okay? Then we do this move. This is the move I'm always talking about. We base above the IB high. We start to extend. Notice the flow zones, nice and clean, pointing upwards, all right? They want you to hold. It comes back once, twice into the IB level, trying to trap, and it holds both times before starting to extend up, okay? And we get that move through 4,200, and that push right here takes out all the stops into 42.10 before pulling back, consolidating, and giving a couple more moves. Now, I was out of the market by here. I did have, I must say, quite a few attempts trying to get this long to go, all right? I was trying to add in, I was trying to hold my winners, and these moves here where I thought I was in the money and I was looking good and it would whip me down and whip me down was frustrating today. Eventually I caught some. I caught most of this move up. I had a couple attempts at getting it up here, but it wouldn't go, and I was also viewing a house today, so I had to back off. But something I want to show you, I'm just gonna clean this up a second. Let's take the SMAs back off. All right, the measured move was perfect again today. Okay, so if we do a measurement of these IB levels, all right, from the IB high to the IB low, you will notice we did a perfect measured move, all right? If this was 100% and this is 100%, look at that. You made your target. So being patient, okay, waiting for the market to trap. Let it trap everyone in here, all right? Let everyone else get exhausted. People like me today who aren't patient, let them get exhausted, all right? Wait for it to start trending over the IB high or below the IB low for a short, and look how easy that is. You get this beautiful trend building, all right? Beautiful, nice pullback for this bull flag before the final extension. So many opportunities to long, so many nice traps if you hung around. So that's what you could have looked for today. But let's jump into my trade. You're going to see probably 3 or 4 break-even trades. I leave well over $1,000 on the table today, trying to hold my runner and taking it break even when I probably should have just locked it in. But it happens sometimes. It just happens. It's part of trading. Let's get into it. Before we get into the trades that I made today, don't forget, Apex is currently on sale. You can become a fully funded prop trader with up to 20 accounts for as little as $15 right now. The link's below in the description with the code. And also, if you're interested in trading the system that you saw me explain to you today on TradingView, my flow zone system, you can grab that on sale right now. The link is also underneath in the description. Don't forget, like and subscribe if you're enjoying this. If this is helping you learn how to trade, it would mean a lot. Let's get into it. So here we go then. First trade, I'm looking for that flag breakdown for a wash into the blue box, into demand, and you're going to see I get a little bit greedy here as I look for the wash of the overnight low. So I'm expecting the Asia London low to get swept. So we tap into that demand box there that I had marked out, and I don't lock it in. I'm looking and waiting for the wash. I know I've got news coming between 9:45 and again at 10 o'clock. I'd like to get it off before, but it just whips me out break even. Eating the break even trade here. Then we flip long, okay? We get that big expansion, the move through VWAP. I'm a bit late to this, but I joined for the trend long above VWAP. Now we're into the supply block block here and I'm adding because the move looks strong. I'm watching the Dixie, I'm watching the VIX, and we look like we've got that potential to really rip some faces here and move through this supply block. So I'd like to get one off above this supply block and then hold for high of day. So I'm sitting pretty here right now, pretty much at break even, and this is the liquidity that I want to get swept. I want these stops to get taken out and then just a rip up. We keep teetering, pull up, push down, pull up, push down, and you can see I still haven't locked it in. So now I'm thinking I'm gonna have to lock one in very shortly because it's not able to do the move. We pull down, I move my stop break even in case it just wants to wash me out, and then we go, didn't get it. Back in long for the same move again now, stop just under those wicks. Again, looking for that break of the supply block, looking for a break of that liquidity above to run the stops. So now my stop is nice and tight and I just need to hold on here and hope that it will rip up. Moving my stop up because I see them getting heavy, and again take the break even or a small scratch trade. And now again I'm looking for the same move. Now we've built the liquidity, we've held the pre-market low, we held the previous day close, and I get whipped out eating the loss yet again. So you can see I'm probably forcing it a bit here and need to chill. So I let these candles just develop. These are 5-minute candles, and I like that the imbalance at the low has been held, the demand's been held. I get a really bad fill there. Okay, I was marketing in early and it just took so long to get in, so I was instantly worried, speaking to the team I trade with, saying I wonder if there's lag. Everyone tells me it's okay, so I held steady, wait for the pullback and add in here, and now I feel good. I feel like we've tapped this supply zone enough times and we should just rip through and take everyone out. So I feel confident. I'm holding my stop just under the previous day close, expecting them to protect it, and if not, again I will have to eat the loss. So we're building a flag above a range here. You can see I mark it out. I'm just looking for us to take the liquidity above and get that expansive move. So I'm getting ready to sell one because we've tried this move now 3 or 4 times, and you can see I've sized in a bit more to this. I've got 3 contracts on, looking for that push, and I get one off there. So now we're holding 2. I'm looking for the liquidity run above here. We start to get it and I take one off. So now my stop is just above break even, and I'm looking for that expansion above the high of day, above that liquidity you can see on the 1-hour chart, which I've marked out, because I know if we get through 4,200, we're going to attack that liquidity and the gap and move up to the next supply block. Now I've moved my stop up above break even, so I'm going to protect my profits, but as you will see, I didn't lock it in above that liquidity sweep. So I need to see this expand now and make a new higher high. I don't want it to start rolling over, so I move my stop up even more aggressively underneath that wick. Now I need to make sure I lock some in after a day of taking a lot of break even trades. Let's see if we can get that push now. We've got that double top there above. I really want that to get swept, and we've got this old supply zone which is now demand. You can see I flip it into demand, so I need this to hold or I'm going to stop out. It's really close to taking me here, very, very close. Looks like it's going to dump, and there you go. I am out yet again, just above break even. So I'd have one more attempt here because we held demand, and I think maybe my stop was a little bit too tight. So I have another go for this curl. Can we get through this imbalance here I've just marked out? And it instantly rejects it, which is not something I want to see, and out again. So using my stops today, eating those losses. Finally though, after taking a break from the market for an hour or 2, I finally see this setup where we've held previous day close, and we've held the pre-market low, and we've held VWAP, and we're holding an anchored VWAP. So now I'm really interested. Maybe I was just too early and too impatient earlier. The idea has been right the whole day, but it's had to build the liquidity. You can see it channeling up and down and up and down. So I had 2 on, and I take one off into previous day high there and put my stop break even, okay? And I'm going to attempt to hold this for the expansion above 4,200. I would really like that 4,210. You can see I've got my sell limit up there, hoping we just rip some faces, take out the stops and go up there. I know Bookmap is very heavy at 41.96. You'll see I keep glancing over to see if that seller's real and if he's getting filled, and he is. In fact, he's adding more and more on. So I move my stop up aggressively because I don't want a candle like the one we had 10 minutes ago, that huge wick down and rip up. I don't want to give away more profit today. I've already given up over $1,000 here. I'm up 400 on this trade so far on this one contract, but I'm unwilling to add in any more size here because really it's just putting more risk on the table. And those buys I had down near the lows in demand are far better than these buys up here unless we can break out and hold. So we're above the IB high, my stop's just below the IB high, and I really need to see them protect it. I do not want to see this whip back in my face and stop me out again. I'm very aware that I've probably over traded today, so my emotions are running a bit high, which is why you'll see I've sized right down to one contract now. Not willing to put myself in a bad position, just going to hold on tight here, and hopefully we can do that nice build and just rip everyone out of the game here, out of the market. So here's the first push, the attempt towards 4200. Now I've moved my runner down slightly there because I'm thinking maybe I'll get a fill. If it just rips really fast, we might get a 5-10 point rip, and I'll just get this one off and walk away for the day, take a nice $1,000 in profit on the runner. So I just check that level of where that liquidity is. You'll see I just marked that new blue horizontal line, looking to hold this for it to drive. My stop is now under the 5-minute wick. I need that to be protected. I'm not interested in holding down towards the gap or demand underneath. I really just want to see this straight up grind, and it's not doing it. So I'm moving my stop up, and then you can see I think better of it. Stop being impatient, let it work out. I mark out that daily gap in case we do get up there, and I can move my sell limit further up and try and trail, looking for that 42.10 move that I've been talking about since Saturday. So here we go. First level of liquidity has been swept. I've still got that other dotted line in, so I would like to just get through that. That's basically just above 4200. Here's the second attempt at it on a 5-minute chart. Now we break through here, interestingly, but there's no conviction and instantly come back down. So I'm marking out a liquidity trend to see if they're just going to sweep some stops before turning back up. They protect previous day high there to the penny, but now I'm thinking they're definitely going to sweep all the late buyers who come in, and I eat my stop, and it does exactly that. Sweeps everyone, and then look, straight back in. Very impatient of me there. Probably should have just held my previous position, knowing it was going to do the retail trendline sweep. I was well aware of what it wanted to do, but you know, impatient sometimes. That's what happens when you've been sat at your desk 3-4 hours looking for this move. So I'm back in long one contract again, small size, looking for the move through this level of supply. It's just a 1-minute level of supply, but it has tagged it over and over and over again. So I'm wondering, are they just going to have to retrap to create more liquidity to get this final push up? I'm also aware that I have to go for a house viewing because I'm looking to move house soon. So I'm running out of time right now to get this move. I really wanted them to do it before lunch. There's my stop. I put my stop in break even. I'm not going to give any money back here. Not when I need to leave soon. Holding. Don't like that look. And out yet again. Just been bullied out the market repeatedly today. Probably a little bit impatient.